We have the pleasure also to give a second award. This one is to somebody I spent a fair amount of time on the campaign trail with and have gotten to know and deeply respect him and his family. So pleased that Judge Willie Gregory from Seattle Municipal Court will be presented an award for his and his court's swift response to COVID, addressing the effects of the pandemic through changing court practices, through working with community partners, and especially doing it through a racial equity lens, incorporating the lessons that have been learned and through feedback. You have been nominated by another good friend of mine, Judge Adam Eisenberg. And Judge Eisenberg, would you please say a few words about Judge Gregory?
Thank you, Chief Justice González and other justices and members of the BJA. I must correct you, however, that I was not the person who nominated Judge Gregory, who is no doubt quite surprised today, but it was actually our executive leadership team. But it is my honor to introduce my presiding judge, my colleague and my good friend, Willie Gregory, as he receives the Innovating Justice Award. I've known Judge Gregory since 1993, when I became an assistant city prosecutor for the city of Seattle. At that time, he was a public defender for the Associated Counsel for the Accused. And upon meeting him, it was obvious he had a great compassion for his clients, that he saw them holistically as he provided them with excellent counsel. He was also a very respectful and professional colleague to other attorneys and to the court. In 2010, he was elected to Seattle Municipal Court, and he brought that same level of commitment to justice as a judge. In the past year, as our presiding judge, he continues to demonstrate outstanding leadership for our court. His thoughtful, compassionate leadership always stresses two guiding principles. One, how can we keep people safe coming into our courthouse? That's our staff, defendants, victims of crimes, attorneys, and other court visitors. And two, how can we ensure that all of our policies promote race and social equity? Just weeks after COVID-19, the pandemic hit Seattle, Presiding Judge Gregory made the unprecedented decision, as many other judges had to do, to shut our courthouse on March 16, 2020. He made this decision with health and safety as the top priority, based on public health guidance and with considerable input and planning from his staff and our stakeholders. The only court that remained open was our in-custody arraignment calendar in the King County Jail. This was critical to ensure individuals who were being held on existing charges or who would be arrested on new charges would have their cases addressed. At the same time, we moved quickly to reduce our jail population by considering emergency motions for release. Before the pandemic began, we had an average of 175 people held in custody. Within 1 month of the courthouse closure, that number was reduced to a daily average by 2/3. We did this by balancing the safety of individuals held with the safety to the greater community when individuals were arrested for repeat DUIs, domestic violence, and other public safety crimes. Like everyone on this Zoom meeting knows, those first few months after the pandemic hit were crazy. Presiding Judge Gregory hosted countless virtual meetings with our executive leadership team, our managers, our supervisors, fellow judges, as well as community stakeholders, to address the status of the court and to plan for the eventual reopening of our courthouse. Recognizing the unique constitutional mandate that requires our judicial branch to be open to the public, Judge Gregory ordered the reopening of our courthouse on July 6th, but only after he was convinced it was safe to do so. Our courtrooms were retrofitted with plexiglass shields, we reduced by 2/3 the number of cases on each calendar, and we took other steps to ensure that we reduced the number of people coming into the building and that we enforced our entry requirements of mask wearing and temperature checks. The following month, August, we resumed jury trials. Then, in late November, as COVID spiked in King County and Seattle, Judge Gregory halted jury trials and mandated that all out-of-custody hearings be held remotely. Throughout all of this, Judge Gregory has maintained a steady, calm hand. He's challenged his fellow judges and court staff to ensure Seattle Municipal Court is an equitable court where individuals leave better than when they entered, and to ensure that all people are treated with dignity and feel that they have been heard. We are doing this through community engagement meetings and collaborating with our stakeholders to eliminate disproportionate impact on Black, Indigenous, people of color, and other marginalized groups. Under Judge Gregory's leadership, we have made several innovative changes, including the transformation of our probation services, the elimination of discretionary fines and fees for criminal cases. We've relaunched or launched a re-envisioned community court pretrial release program. And we've made most of our current and past warrants for low-level or nonviolent charges quashable upon a person's promise to return for a new court date. It came as no surprise to me that members of our executive leadership team nominated Judge Gregory for this award. He has actively partnered with them, always valuing their input to make necessary decisions. Now, while his middle initial is J, which I suppose could stand for justice, and that would be appropriate, I humbly suggested it should be C, for I've watched him work tirelessly to collaborate, not only with his staff and fellow judges, but with the City Attorney's Office, the King County Office of Public Defense, private attorneys, and many other community partners. Or perhaps his middle initial should be P, because he begins many of our meetings and our weekly all-staff town halls by reading an inspirational poem to set the tone, to inspire, to reflection, and to support staff in coping with the strain of this ongoing pandemic. This has been just the first year under Judge Gregory's leadership. He was nominated elected by his fellow judges to be presiding judge just a month just at the very beginning when COVID was first appearing in our community. Since that time, he's embraced the role of presiding judge, and he has thoughtfully led us through the challenges that none of us ever anticipated. As we move forward, with the hope that this pandemic will come to a quick and certain end, I know I speak for all of my judicial colleagues, as well as our executive leadership team and our staff, when I say I'm grateful Judge Gregory is our presiding judge, and I'm very thankful for his leadership. And it is my honor to introduce him for this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Eisenberg. Congratulations, Judge Gregory. And would you share a few words with us?
Yes, and thank you, Chief Justice González, and Adam, thank you so much. Just like Vanessa said, I couldn't have done this without my team. The judges, the executive leadership team, and the staff. Everything I did was because of them, and they just helped me so much. We have a great team. You can see there's so much support right now, all the people here today, and I thank you all. I mean, this is not my award. This is Seattle Municipal Court's award, and the City of Seattle's award. So we worked hard, and there's a lot to do. We still have a lot more to do, but I couldn't have done it with you all. I mean, I get to work with very, very smart people who challenge you, who try you, and it's great. I really like that. And I also get to work with people who really are concerned about social justice. I was telling someone one time, every meeting we have, someone always mentions, how is this going to affect that one person who needs to have somebody care about them? We're always concerned about social justice, and we will be concerned about social justice as long as I'm the presiding judge. I think it's important because a person should understand that when they have a courthouse, and that is their courthouse, that they are served, and service and justice is done. And I know these people here from Seattle Municipal Court, that is their goal. We have so many conversations about that, so many meetings about that, and I really appreciate that. And the other ones don't know me. I play hockey, and I'm a captain. And the one thing I always believe is in team and leadership, and you have to have that to get things going on. I've seen that by Chief Justice González, Chief Justice Stevens, and other judges have shown me what leadership is all about. It's a learning process, and I've learned it all by my colleagues. Judge Eisenberg was the assistant PJ. Whenever I said, I need someone to do this and that, he would step up and say, I'll do it, Willie. I'll do whatever I can to help you. All the other judges have done that just as well. We have a new judge, Judge McDowell, who became a judge during this pandemic, and one of the first things when she came to my office, says, hey, Willie, if you need anything, just let me know and I'll do it. And that is the way that we are at Seattle Municipal Court. Again, we have a great court, and all the people who work for us are wonderful. Now, I notice my son is on here, and everything I do for him too, and for the future and for his kids. I mean, he's going to be an awesome lawyer, and he's a great guy, and that's really what we have to think about too, is think about the future when we do things like this. But anyway, I thank you for this award, and Seattle Municipal Court, thank you for this award, and I'll keep doing my best to lead this court and to lead you all. My staff, I feel so appreciative that you're all here. Thank you all. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. From me and my co-chair and from all of us, Congratulations to both of you on these awards and for making the judicial branch and all of us so proud. Really appreciate it.
Means a lot coming from you, Chief. I've known you for a while. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, what a wonderful interlude here in the middle of our BJA meeting. It's just great to see all that work that's being done throughout the state and giving us a chance to take a moment and recognize that work